The tired part of you is not weak. It is not lazy. It is not broken. It is not failing at life. It is the part of you that has been carrying too much for too long, and tonight it is asking to be met with kindness instead of pressure. Maybe your body is tired, but your mind keeps moving. Maybe your heart is tired, but you keep smiling for others. Maybe your spirit is tired, but you keep telling yourself to be strong, to keep going, to hold everything together, to not fall apart, to not need too much, to not ask for help, to not rest until everything is fixed. But my dear, there is a part of you that cannot be healed by more pushing. There is a part of you that cannot be comforted by more thinking. There is a part of you that has been waiting for the simple permission to stop fighting for the night and be held by peace. Once you rest tonight, peace does not need to be chased. Peace does not need to be forced. Peace does not need you to become perfect before it comes near. Peace finds the tired part of you when you finally stop treating that tired part as a problem. It finds the place in you that has been quiet for too long. It finds the part that says, I am tired of pretending I am fine. I am tired of being strong in silence. I am tired of carrying worry into every room. I am tired of holding tomorrow before it has even arrived. And instead of judging that voice, tonight you can love it. Tonight you can say, I hear you. I know you are tired. I will not push you away. I will not call you weak. I will not shame you for needing rest. I will sit with you gently, and I will let peace come close. Your tiredness is not always about sleep. Sometimes the body sleeps, but the heart is still awake. Sometimes the room becomes quiet, but the mind is still walking through old conversations, old fears, old memories, and old questions. Sometimes, as you lie down, but inside, you are still trying to solve what hurt you, fix what confused you, understand what changed, or control what has not yet happened. That kind of tiredness lives deeper than the body. It lives in the place where you have been carrying things you were never meant to carry alone. It lives in the place where you learned to be careful, learned to overthink, learned to prepare for disappointment, learned to protect your heart before anything even happened. And this is why tonight matters. Not because one night has to fix your whole life. Not because rest makes every problem disappear, but because tonight can become the first soft place where you stop adding fear to your tiredness. The tired part of you does not need another command. It does not need another reason to feel behind. It does not need to hear that it should be stronger, faster, better, calmer, wiser, or more healed. It needs a loving voice. It needs a softer way to be with itself. It needs to know that rest is allowed even when the house is not perfect, even when the plan is not complete, even when the answer has not come, even when someone has not understood you, even when the future still feels open. Rest is not something you earn only after everything is done. Rest is something your soul needs so it can remember how to live without fear leading every thought. You are allowed to rest before everything is solved. You are allowed to soften before every door has opened. You are allowed to breathe before the whole path is clear. There may be a part of you that feels guilty when you rest. It may say, I should be doing more. I should be trying harder. I should not stop now. It may believe that rest means you are losing time, losing control, or falling behind. But guilt is not wisdom. Guilt is often an old lesson. It may come from years of believing your worth depends on how much you do, how much you carry, how little you need, and how well you hide your pain. Tonight, you can begin to loosen that old lesson. You can say, my worth is not measured by how exhausted I become. My value is not proven by how much I suffer in silence. I am not more lovable when I ignore myself. I am not more deserving when I abandon my own peace. I am allowed to rest because I am alive, because I am human, because my heart deserves care, and because the tired part of me is also worthy of love. Sometimes the tired part of you is the part that kept going when no one noticed. It kept showing up. It kept holding the family, the work, the dream, the healing, the hope, the pain, the old memory, the quiet fear. It kept walking through days when your heart felt heavy. It kept answering messages when it wanted to disappear for a while. It kept carrying responsibility when it wanted to be held. It kept trying to believe in better things even when life felt slow. This part of you has not failed. It has served you. It has protected you. It has brought you here. But now it does not need to be pushed like a machine. It needs to be thanked like a faithful companion. It needs to hear, you helped me survive, and now I want to help you rest. There is a sacred difference between giving up and resting. Giving up says nothing can change. Rest says I am willing to be restored so I can meet life with a softer heart. Giving up closes the door. Rest allows the door to open in a different way. Giving up speaks from despair. Rest speaks from trust. When you rest, you are not saying life is over. You are saying life can hold some of this with me. You are saying I do not need to grip every worry with both hands through the night. You are saying my body is allowed to be a safe place. My mind is allowed to become quiet. My heart is allowed to lay down the old battle. This is not weakness, my dear. This is wisdom. A flower does not bloom by forcing itself open all night. The earth does not grow by refusing darkness. Even life knows how to move through seasons of quiet. Your tiredness may be carrying many names. It may be called sadness. It may be called worry. It may be called waiting. It may be called disappointment. It may be called loneliness. It may be called doing everything for others and not knowing how to receive. It may be called being strong for so long that you forgot what softness feels like. But underneath all those names, the tired part of you may simply be saying, "Please be gentle with me tonight. Please do not make me fight another invisible battle. Please do not make me replay the past. Please do not make me chase the future. Please let me belong to this moment. Please let me feel that I am safe enough to stop holding my breath inside. Tonight, peace is not far away. It may not arrive like a loud miracle. It may come quietly. It may come as a little less tightness in the heart. It may come as a softer thought. It may come as a feeling that you do not have to punish yourself anymore. It may come as a gentle space between you and the fear. It may come as the simple truth that this night does not need to carry the weight of your whole life. It may come when you stop asking your tired mind to answer everything. It may come when you stop treating your body like it must prove something. It may come when you whisper inwardly, "I am allowed to rest now. I am allowed to receive peace even before I understand how everything will change." The old fear may still try to speak. It may say, "But what if I rest and nothing changes? What if I stop worrying and something goes wrong? What if I let go for tonight and lose control?" My dear, worry has never been the same as protection. Exhaustion has never been the same as safety. Holding fear all night does not make tomorrow easier. It only makes the heart enter tomorrow already heavy. You can care about your life without frightening yourself through the night. You can be responsible without turning your mind into a battlefield. You can love people without carrying every feeling they have. You can want answers without forcing your body to stay alert until they come. Peace does not ask you to stop caring. Peace asks you to stop hurting yourself in the name of caring. There is a soft place inside you that knows how to rest. It may have been covered by noise, duty, stress, and old fear, but it is still there. It is the place that remembers you are not only a worker, not only a helper, not only a fixer, not only the strong one, not only the person who must keep going no matter what. You are a living soul. You are a tender heart. You are someone who needs warmth, quiet, patience, and love. And tonight, that softer place can begin to open again, not by force, not by pressure, not by making rest another thing to do correctly. It opens when you stop arguing with your own need for care. It opens when you say, "Tiredness, I will not reject you. Come closer. You are safe with me." The tired part of you may not trust peace immediately. It may be used to being ignored. It may be used to being pushed. It may be used to hearing, "Not now, later, keep going. Be strong. Do not feel that. Do not need that." So if peace comes slowly, let it come slowly. If the mind takes time to settle, be patient. If the heart still feels tender, be kind. Healing does not need to be rushed. Rest does not need to be perfect. Even the willingness to soften is already a beautiful beginning. When you stop fighting yourself, something sacred begins. When you stop calling your tiredness weakness, a new love enters the room. When you stop demanding that your heart be finished with pain before you offer it comfort, you become the loving presence you have needed for so long. Tonight, let this be the truth you place over your heart. My tiredness is not weakness. My need for rest is not failure. The part of me that feels heavy is not wrong. It is asking for love. It is asking for safety. It is asking to be remembered. I do not need to solve everything before I am allowed to be gentle with myself. I do not need to become stronger by ignoring my pain. I become stronger by meeting myself with love. Once I rest tonight, peace can find the tired part of me. And when peace finds that part, it does not shame it. It does not hurry it. It does not demand a perfect smile. It simply sits beside it and says, "You have carried enough for now. Let yourself be held." When you keep pushing the tired part of you away, that part does not disappear. It only becomes quieter on the outside and heavier on the inside. You may still move through the day. You may still answer people. You may still do the work. You may still appear calm. But deep within, something begins to feel unseen. The body starts speaking in small ways. The mind becomes harder to quiet. Heart becomes more sensitive. Little things feel bigger than they used to. Simple choices feel tiring. Kind words may bring tears because some part of you has been hungry for softness. This is not because you are too emotional. It is because the part of you that needed care has been waiting too long. There is a kind of strength that helps you through hard moments, and there is a kind of strength that becomes a prison when you are not allowed to stop. At first, pushing may feel necessary. You may tell yourself, "I have no choice. People need me. Bills need paying. Life keeps moving. I must keep going." And yes, there are days when you have to take the next step, even while tired. But when pushing becomes your only way of living, the soul begins to dry out. You forget how to receive. You forget how to ask for support. You forget how to rest without guilt. You forget how to hear your body before it has to speak loudly. You begin to believe that your peace can wait forever while everyone and everything else comes first. When you keep pushing, the mind becomes trained to live in tomorrow. It keeps asking, what next? What if? What now? What could go wrong? What must I fix? What must I prepare for? It does not allow you to arrive fully in the present. You may sit in a quiet room, but inside you are somewhere else. You may lie down at night, but your thoughts are already in conversations that have not happened. Your body is in bed. but your attention is walking through worry. This is how tiredness grows. Not only from doing too much, but from never being allowed to be where you are. Your mind runs ahead, your heart stays behind, and your body is left holding the pressure of both. My dear, there is no shame in realizing you have been pushing. Many gentle people learned this pattern early. They learned to be useful before they learned to be cared for. They learned to notice everyone else's mood before they noticed their own needs. They learned to stay quiet to keep peace. They learned to become strong because there was no one there to hold the soft part. So now, even when life is asking them to rest, the body may still feel unsafe being still. Stillness may feel like danger because in stillness the feelings rise. In stillness, the truth becomes easier to hear. In stillness, the tired part finally says, I cannot keep being ignored. And because that voice feels tender, many people keep moving so they do not have to listen. But tonight, listening is not something to fear. Listening is how peace finds its way in. The tired part of you is not trying to ruin your life. It is trying to return you to yourself. It may be telling you that your pace has been too harsh. It may be telling you that your heart needs less pressure. It may be telling you that you have been carrying responsibility that belongs to others. It may be telling you that the old way of proving yourself no longer feels loving. It may be telling you that the Odi needs care, the mind needs quiet, and the soul needs a kinder home inside you. These messages are not attacks. They are invitations. When you keep pushing, even blessings can feel heavy. A kind message may feel like another thing to answer. A new chance may feel like another pressure. A loving person may feel hard to receive because the heart has become used to guarding itself. A quiet evening may feel strange because the nervous system has forgotten how to be calm without searching for a problem. This is why rest is more than sleep. Rest is teaching the body that peace is not a threat. Rest is teaching the heart that it does not have to earn love through exhaustion. Rest is teaching the mind that it can stop gripping every detail and still be safe. Without this inner rest, even good things may be hard to hold. Pushing often wears the mask of responsibility. It says, I am only doing what must be done. But sometimes under that sentence is fear. Fear of disappointing others. Fear of being judged. Fear of being left. Fear of falling behind. Fear of not being enough. Fear that if you stop, everything will fall apart. So the question is not only, what am I doing? The deeper question is, what feeling is driving me? Am I moving from love or am I running from fear? Am I serving with an open heart or am I proving that I deserve to be here? Am I taking a wise step or am I trying to silence the voice that says I am not enough? This question can open a door. If you keep pushing from fear, the body eventually begins to resist. It may feel heavy in the morning. It may feel tense at night. It may crave comfort in ways that do not truly comfort. It may become impatient, restless, or numb. It may lose joy in things that once felt simple. This does not mean the body is against you. The body is not your enemy. The body is often the honest messenger. It says what the mouth does not say. It holds what the heart has not released. It carries the cost of every silent yes, every swallowed feeling, every night of worry, every morning of self-pressure. So tonight, instead of asking, "Why is my body so tired?" you may ask, "Dear body, what have you been carrying for me?" The heart also changes when you keep pushing. It becomes harder to feel open. It may still love deeply, but it begins to protect itself. It may become quiet because it does not want to ask for too much. It may become guarded because it has been disappointed before. It may become tired of hoping because hope has felt painful in the past. And when the heart is tired, it may mistake peace for emptiness, love for danger, and rest for weakness. But the heart does not need to be forced open. It needs safety. It needs to know that it will not be rushed. It needs to know that you will not use spiritual words to shame it into feeling better. It needs a gentle promise. I will not make you carry everything tonight. When you keep pushing, your inner voice may become harsh. It may say, "Why are you still tired? Why can you not handle this? Why are you so sensitive? Why are you not over it yet? Why is it taking so long?" But that voice does not heal. It only makes the tired part hide deeper. A tired heart does not become peaceful by being criticized. A tired body does not become strong by being hated. A tired mind does not become calm by being blamed. Healing begins when the inner voice changes. Instead of saying, "What is wrong with me?" you begin to say, "What needs love in me?" Instead of saying, "I should be fine by now," you say, "I am allowed to heal at the pace of love." Instead of saying, "I cannot rest until life is perfect," you say, "Rest is part of how I return to myself." There is a hidden cost to always pushing. You may lose touch with what you truly feel. You may stop knowing whether you want something or only feel expected to do it. You may stop knowing whether you are tired, sad, lonely, angry, or simply overwhelmed. Everything becomes one heavy feeling. And when you cannot hear yourself clearly, it becomes easier to keep living in ways that drain you. You say yes when the body means no. You stay where your heart feels small. You keep explaining yourself to people who do not listen. You keep trying to fix what may need to be released. You keep carrying tomorrow and then wonder why tonight feels so heavy. But the good news is this: the moment you become aware, the old pattern has already begun to loosen. You do not need to hate yourself for pushing. You do not need to look back and say, "I wasted so much time." You were doing what you knew. You were surviving with the tools you had. You were trying to feel safe. You were trying to stay loved. You were trying to keep life from breaking open. But now a softer wisdom is calling you. It says, you do not have to live only by force. You do not have to scare yourself into action. You do not have to abandon your peace to prove your goodness. You can be responsible and gentle. You can be devoted and rested. You can care deeply and still care for yourself. Tonight is an invitation to stop confusing pressure with progress. Sometimes the soul grows when the body is still. Sometimes healing deepens when the mind stops trying to explain everything. Sometimes the answer comes after you stop asking from panic. Sometimes life can reach you more easily when your hands are not closed around fear. If you keep pushing all night, there is no space for peace to enter. But when you soften even a little, when you stop arguing with your need for rest, when you allow yourself to be human, a new space opens. And in that space, peace begins to move toward the tired part of you. There may be unfinished things waiting for tomorrow. There may be people who still do not understand. There may be questions without answers. There may be dreams not yet fully formed. There may be places in your life that still need care. But you do not need to carry them all into your sleep like stones in your chest. You can bless them for tonight and let them wait outside the door of your rest. You can say, I will meet what needs to be met when the morning comes. But tonight, I will not turn my mind into a place of fear. Tonight, I will not punish my body for being tired. Tonight, I will not make my heart earn comfort. Tonight, I choose a kinder way. When you keep pushing, you may believe you are protecting the future. But often, you are only stealing peace from the present. And the present is where your life is actually happening. Not in the imagined problem, not in the feared outcome, not in the old regret. Here, in this moment, in this body, in this quiet opening where you can choose to stop speaking to yourself with pressure. You can choose to lay down the need to control every possible tomorrow. You can choose to let the tired part of you feel loved before it feels fixed. This is a deep kind of healing. It does not shout. It does not demand attention. It simply changes the way you live inside yourself. So let this section become a gentle truth in you. When I keep pushing myself without love, I close the door that peace is trying to enter. When I ignore my tiredness, I do not become stronger. I become more distant from myself. When I listen with kindness, I begin to return. I do not need to fight the tired part of me. I can hold it. I can hear it. I can let it rest. Tonight, I am not here to prove that I can carry everything. I am here to remember that I was never meant to carry everything without love. There is an old pattern many hearts know very well. It is the pattern of always carrying and rarely receiving. Always being the one who notices, the one who understands, the one who forgives, the one who stays calm, the one who makes room, the one who keeps going, the one who says, it is fine, even when it is not fine inside. Maybe you learned to carry because someone had to. Maybe you learned to be strong because softness did not feel safe. Maybe you learned to need less because asking for more brought disappointment. Maybe you became the person who could hold many things because life taught you not to expect much holding in return. And now, even when support is near, your body may not know how to receive it. Receiving can feel strange when you have spent years surviving. Rest can feel strange when your worth has been tied to effort. Kindness can feel strange when you are used to earning love by being useful. Peace can feel strange when your nervous system has practiced alertness for so long. You may say you want rest, but when rest comes, you do not know what to do with it. You may say you want support, but when someone offers it, a part of you may pull away, explain, apologize, or say, "No, I am okay." You may say you want love, but when love is gentle, it may feel unfamiliar because your heart learned to expect love with worry, proving, or pain. This does not mean you are unable to receive. It means the receiving part of you needs safety. The old pattern of carrying often begins quietly. It may begin with being praised for being easy, being strong, being helpful, being mature, being the one who does not complain, being the one who can handle things. At first, these words may feel like love. They may feel like value. But if no one also teaches you that you are allowed to rest, allowed to need, allowed to cry, allowed to be held, then strength becomes a role instead of a gift. You begin to believe you are loved because you carry well. You begin to hide the part of you that needs care. You begin to feel guilty when you cannot be useful. And slowly, the soul becomes tired from always standing in one position. Tonight, you are allowed to step out of that role. You are allowed to be more than the strong one. You are allowed to be tender, uncertain, tired, and still worthy. You are allowed to receive without first explaining why you need it. You are allowed to let peace come near without saying, "I have not earned this yet." You are allowed to be loved in the places where you are not performing. This is important, my dear, because the tired part of you may not be tired only from what happened today. It may be tired from a lifetime of feeling that it had to deserve softness. It may be tired from never being allowed to simply exist without proving something. Always carrying can become an identity. You may not even notice it anymore. You may wake up and immediately think of what everyone else needs. You may enter rooms and feel the mood before anyone speaks. You may take responsibility for tension that is not yours. You may try to prevent disappointment before it happens. You may over-explain because you fear being misunderstood. You may keep giving chances because you do not want to seem unkind. You may hold your own pain quietly because you do not want to burden anyone. And then at night, when everything becomes silent, the body finally tells the truth. It says, "I am tired." I have carried too much today. I have carried too much for many days. But you are not here only to carry. You are also here to receive. You are here to receive breath, kindness, rest, beauty, friendship, guidance, support, and the small gifts life brings in quiet ways. You are here to receive your own love. You are here to receive the softness that does not ask you to earn it. And receiving does not make you selfish. Receiving restores the part of you that has been giving from an empty place. When you receive, your giving becomes cleaner. It is no longer coming from fear. It is no longer a silent bargain that says, if I carry enough, maybe I will be loved. It becomes a choice. It becomes love moving through a heart that also knows how to be nourished. Some part of you may be afraid that if you stop carrying everything, everything will fall apart. But ask gently, has carrying everything brought you the peace you wanted? Has holding every worry made ye now feel safe? Has being the strong one all the time made your heart feel deeply held? Maybe it helped you survive. Honor that. Do not attack the old pattern. It protected you when you did not know another way. But what once protected you may now be tiring you. What once helped you move through pain may now be blocking peace. You are allowed to thank the old way and learn a new one. You are allowed to say, carrying brought me this far, but receiving will help me heal. Receiving begins in small inner ways. It begins when you let a kind sentence enter instead of rejecting it. It begins when you stop rushing past the quiet moment. It begins when you allow your body to feel the bed under you, the air around you, the night holding you, without immediately filling the space with worry. It begins when you say, maybe I do not have to earn peace tonight. Maybe peace can meet me here. Maybe I can let life support me in ways I do not yet understand. These are not small thoughts. They are new doors. They teach the subconscious mind that safety does not only come from control. Safety can also come from trust. The tired part of you may need to hear this many times. You are allowed to receive without guilt. You are allowed to rest without explaining. You are allowed to be cared for without becoming uncomfortable. You are allowed to have needs without calling yourself difficult. You are allowed to let someone help if help is safe and loving. You are allowed to let life be kind to you in simple ways. You are allowed to enjoy a quiet moment without searching for what might go wrong. You are allowed to be supported by your own breath, by your own gentle words, by the feeling that tonight you do not have to carry the whole world inside your chest. There is a deep loneliness that comes from always carrying. It is not always the loneliness of being physically alone. Sometimes it is the loneliness of being surrounded by people, but feeling that no one sees how much you hold. It is the loneliness of being needed, but not deeply known. It is the loneliness of being thanked for your strength, but not asked where it hurts. It is the loneliness of becoming useful, while the tender part of you waits quietly in the background. Tonight, that tender part does not have to stay hidden. You can turn toward it. You can say, I see how much you have carried. I see how tired you are. I see that you have been waiting for me to come back to you. Coming back to yourself is not dramatic. It is gentle. It is the moment you stop speaking to yourself like a task. It is the moment you notice your own heaviness and do not make it wrong. It is the moment you let your heart be honest. It is the moment you stop making your value depend on how much you can handle. It is the moment you say, I can be loved even when I am not useful. I can be worthy even when I am resting. I can be enough even when I have nothing left to give tonight. That truth may feel new. Let it be new. The body may. It take time to believe it. Let the body learn slowly. Always carrying can make you forget how to be held by the present moment. Even when nothing is happening, you may still feel the need to prepare, guard, plan, remember, and protect. The mind may search for the next problem because it believes peace cannot be trusted. But tonight, you can gently teach the mind another way. You can say, we do not need to search for danger right now. We do not need to replay what has already happened. We do not need to rehearse what may never happen. We can be here. We can be soft here. We can let the tired part rest here. The mind does not have to become silent all at once. It only needs a kinder direction. You may have carried other people's feelings for a long time. You may have believed it was your job to make everyone comfortable. But love does not mean absorbing every emotion around you. Love does not mean becoming the place where everyone leaves their pain while you have nowhere to place yours. Love does not mean saying yes when your spirit is asking for no. Love does not mean becoming tired enough to be accepted. True love has space for your life too. True love does not require you to disappear. And tonight, you can begin by not disappearing from yourself. You can begin by allowing your own tiredness to matter. There is also the pattern of carrying old words, words someone said, words you said to yourself, words that became beliefs. Maybe the tired part of you is still carrying the sentence, I have to do everything alone. Maybe it is carrying, I cannot trust support. Maybe it is carrying, if I rest, I will fall behind. Maybe it is carrying, my needs are too much. Tonight, you do not need to fight those old words. You can place new words beside them. You can say, I am learning to receive. I am learning to trust safe support. I am allowed to rest and still be guided. My needs are part of my humanity. The tired part of me is welcome here. Receiving peace tonight may feel like letting the hands open inside. not because you are dropping your life, but because you are dropping the belief that fear must hold it together. You are not abandoning your dreams by resting. You are not abandoning your responsibilities by allowing your body to soften. You are not abandoning the people you love by caring for your own heart. You are learning a healthier way to live. You are learning that a peaceful person can still take action. A rested heart can still love deeply. A supported body can still move wisely. A gentle mind can still make clear choices. Rest does not take your life away from you. It gives you back to your life with more truth. Tonight, the old pattern may whisper, keep carrying, keep thinking, keep checking, keep holding, keep preparing, keep proving. And the new voice can answer, not with anger, but with peace. Not tonight. Tonight, I choose to receive. Tonight, I choose to let my tired body be held by rest. Tonight, I choose to stop making worry my only form of care. Tonight, I choose to believe that I can lay some things down and still be safe. Tonight, I choose to be kind to the part of me that has carried more than anyone knows. The truth is, the tired part of you has been waiting for you, not for someone else to fix everything, not for the whole world to become gentle first, not for every problem to be solved. It has been waiting for your own loving attention. It has been waiting for you to stop walking past it. It has been waiting for you to say, I am here now. I know I pushed you for a long time. I know I called you weak when you were only tired. I know I ignored your signals because I thought I had to. But tonight, I am learning another way. Tonight, I will not leave you alone with the weight. And as you allow this, something inside can begin to change. The old pattern of carrying may not disappear at once, but it can loosen. The body may not release every weight at once, but it can feel a little safer. The heart may not fully open at once, but it can stop guarding every doorway. The mind may not become completely quiet, but it can stop being the loudest voice in the room. This is enough for the beginning. The new pattern begins when you let yourself receive even a little kindness from within. It begins when you let rest become love, not escape. It begins when you let peace find the tired part of you without making that tired part prove it deserves to be found. So tonight, remember this truth gently. I have carried much, but I am not here only to carry. I have been strong, but I am allowed to be soft. I have helped others, but I am allowed to receive help from life. I have kept going, but I am allowed to rest. I do not need to earn peace through exhaustion. I do not need to prove my worth through suffering. I let the tired part of me be seen. I let the tired part of me be loved. I let the tired part of me receive what it has been giving for so long. Once I rest tonight, peace finds that hidden place in me and reminds it that it is finally safe to stop carrying everything alone. Rest is not where your life stops. Rest is where your life begins to come back into balance. Rest is not the place where you lose your strength. Rest is the place where strength stops being forced and starts becoming natural again. For so long, you may have believed that if you stop, everything will fall apart. If you rest, you will fall behind. If you soften, someone will take advantage. If you let go for the night, you will lose control of the things that matter. But my dear, control is not the same as safety. Tension is not the same as love. Exhaustion is not the same as devotion. You can care deeply about your life and still let your body rest. You can want good things and still stop gripping the night with fear. There is a tired part of you that has been told rest means weakness. It may have learned that love must be earned through effort. It may have learned that being useful is safer than being honest. It may have learned that the only way to stay accepted is to keep giving, keep proving, keep smiling, keep handling, keep pretending that nothing hurts. So when you try to rest, this old part may become uncomfortable. It may say, get up, think more, fix more, plan more, worry more. Do not relax yet. It may believe that worry is protection. It may believe that peace must wait until every question has an answer. But tonight, you can answer that old voice with kindness. You can say, I know you are trying to protect me, but I do not need to hurt myself in order to be safe. Rest is not giving up on the dream. It is giving the dream a calmer place to grow. A fearful mind can only see a few hard paths. A rested heart can see doors that panic could not notice. A tense body keeps preparing for danger, but a softer body can hear the quiet guidance that comes from within. Sometimes the answer you are chasing cannot reach you because your inner world is too loud. Sometimes the next step is not found by thinking harder, but by becoming gentle enough to hear what life has already been whispering. When you rest, you do not abandon your path. You allow your path to speak without being drowned by fear. There are times when you have done enough for the day, but the mind does not know how to stop. It keeps searching for one more solution, one more message, one more sign, one more reason to believe. It keeps walking through the same worry as if walking through it again will finally change it. But repeating fear does not make fear wiser. It only makes fear more familiar. Tonight, you can choose another way. You can let the mind know that not every thought needs your attention. Not every worry needs a long conversation. Not every fear needs to be solved before you sleep. Some thoughts can pass through without becoming your home. The tired part of you may ask, but what about tomorrow? What about the work? What about the bills? What about the people? What about the things I still have to face? and you can answer with a gentle truth. Tomorrow will have its own light. Tomorrow will have its own strength. Tomorrow will have its own steps. Tonight does not need to become tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. Tonight is not here to carry every possible future. Tonight is here to help you return to yourself so that when the morning comes, you do not meet it from a place of emptiness. You meet it with a little more softness, a little more steadiness, a little more trust. Rest does not erase responsibility. Rest changes the energy from which you meet responsibility. When you act from exhaustion, even simple things feel heavy. When you act from panic, even wise choices feel sharp. When you act from guilt, even giving can become painful. But when you allow rest, your actions become cleaner. You can do what needs to be done without turning against yourself. You can care for others without leaving your own heart behind. You can make decisions without forcing your nervous system to live in danger. This is why rest is deeply spiritual. It teaches you that life does not require your suffering in order to move. There is a quiet kind of faith inside resting. It says, I do not have to hold the entire universe together. It says, life can move even when I am sleeping. Healing can move even when I am not thinking about it. Love can move even when I am not chasing it. Answers can form even when I am not forcing them. This does not mean you do nothing forever. It means you stop believing that fear is the engine of your life. You stop making panic the proof that you care. You stop making exhaustion the price of being worthy. You begin to understand that rest is not an empty space. Rest is a holy space where your body, mind, and heart remember how to receive. Maybe you have been waiting for permission to rest. Maybe you have been waiting for someone to say, you have done enough for tonight. Maybe you have been waiting for the world to become quiet, for people to need less, for life to become easier, for the future to become clear. But the permission can begin inside you now. You can give it to the tired part of yourself. You can say, I give you permission to stop carrying the whole story tonight. I give you permission to soften even if everything is not finished. I give you permission to be human. I give you permission to receive peace before every question is answered. Sometimes you may feel that if you rest, you are leaving something unfinished. But some things are meant to be unfinished for the night. The mind wants closure, but the soul often needs trust. The heart wants certainty, but healing often begins with allowing the unknown to exist without attacking yourself. You do not need to force a final answer from this day. You do not need to turn every feeling into a problem. You do not need to decide your whole future before your eyes close. There is a kind of wisdom that comes when you say, I have done what I can for now. I release what is not mine to solve tonight. I let peace do its gentle work in me. Rest is also an act of self-respect. It says, my body matters, my inner world matters, my quiet matters, my energy matters. I will not treat myself like something to use until there is nothing left. I will not make my worth depend on how much I can endure. I will not keep calling self-abandonment strength. This is where a new life begins in a very soft way. Not with noise, not with drama, not with a grand promise. It begins when you decide that the tired part of you deserves care too. It begins when you stop treating rest like a reward and begin treating it like a relationship with yourself. There is nothing selfish about allowing peace to enter you. A peaceful heart does not take love away from others. It brings better love into the world. A rested body does not make you less responsible. It helps you respond with more truth. A calmer mind does not make you careless. It helps you see more clearly. When you are always running from your own tiredness, you may speak from irritation, give from emptiness, decide from fear, and love from need. But when you allow yourself to rest, even a little, the energy inside you changes. You become less ruled by urgency. You become more available to wisdom. You begin to meet life from your center instead of from your wound. Tonight, if the old voice says you should keep pushing, ask it gently, what are you afraid will happen if I rest? Maybe it is afraid you will be forgotten. Maybe it is afraid you will miss your chance. Maybe it is afraid people will be disappointed. Maybe it is afraid that if you stop, the sadness will rise. Do not shame this voice. It has been trying to keep you safe in the only way it knew, but now you can become the loving guide within. You can say, I hear the fear, but I do not have to obey it. I can rest and still be guided. I can soften and still be safe. I can lay down tonight's burden and still meet tomorrow with love. There is a soft strength that only comes through rest. It is not the hard strength that clenches the jaw and says, I can handle everything. It is the deeper strength that says, I can be honest with myself. I can admit I am tired. I can stop pretending I do not need care. I can let my heart be held by peace. This strength does not need to impress anyone. It does not need to look powerful from the outside. It is powerful because it is true. It is powerful because it brings you back into friendship with yourself. It is powerful because it breaks the old pattern of forcing and opens the door to receiving. Tonight, rest can become your quiet prayer. Not a prayer of words only, but a prayer of trust. The way you allow your shoulders to soften can be a prayer. The way you stop replaying old pain can be a prayer. The way you speak to your tired heart with kindness can be a prayer. The way you let the day end without solving your whole life can be a prayer. You are saying to life, I am willing to be supported. I am willing to stop fighting myself. I am willing to believe that peace can find me even here even now, even before everything feels complete. The tired part of you does not need to be pushed into peace. It needs to be invited. It needs to be welcomed. It needs to know that it will not be criticized for needing time. It needs to know that rest is not a punishment, not a failure, not a sign that you have lost your way. Rest is a return. Rest is a soft turning back toward the self. Rest is the place where the heart hears, you do not have to keep proving that you deserve to be loved. You do not have to keep earning your place in life through tension. You are allowed to receive because you are already worthy of care. So tonight, let this truth move through you gently. Rest is not where my power ends. Rest is where my power returns. I do not give up when I rest. I come back to myself. I do not lose my path when I soften. I become able to hear the path more clearly. I do not abandon my life when I stop worrying for the night. I allow life to hold what my tired hands cannot hold right now. I am safe to rest. I am safe to receive. I am safe to let peace find the tired part of me. The tired part of you does not need harsh words tonight. It does not need to be told to hurry, to get over it, to be stronger, to stop feeling, to stop needing, to stop being so sensitive. It has heard enough pressure. It has carried enough silent pain. It has been pushed through enough days with very little kindness. Tonight, it needs words that feel like warmth, words that do not demand, words that do not shame, words that do not make healing feel like another test. It needs words that can sit beside the tiredness and say, I am here with you. I will not leave you alone inside this feeling. Many people do not notice how they speak to the tired part within. They may speak kindly to strangers, gently to friends, patiently to people they love, but when they turn inward, the voice becomes sharp. Why am I tired again? Why can I not handle more? Why am I still thinking about this? Why am I not better by now? Why do I need so much? My dear, those questions do not create peace. They create more fear. They make the tired part feel unsafe inside its own home. A tired heart cannot rest inside an unkind voice. A tired body cannot soften when the mind keeps accusing it. A tired soul cannot feel loved when every feeling is treated like a mistake. Tonight, you can begin to change the voice, not all at once, not perfectly, just gently. When the old harsh sentence rises, place a kinder sentence beside it. If the mind says, I should not be this tired, you can say, I have carried a lot and I am allowed to rest. If the mind says, I am falling behind, you can say, I am moving at the pace my healing can hold. If the mind says, I should have known better, you can say, I am learning with the wisdom I have now. If the mind says, I am too much, you can say, my feelings are welcome here. This is how the inner world begins to become safe. The tired part of you may be the part that never received the words it needed. Maybe it needed someone to say, you do not have to be perfect to be loved. Maybe it needed to hear, your feelings make sense. Maybe it needed to hear, you are safe to stop pretending. Maybe it needed to hear, I am proud of you for surviving what no one saw. Maybe it needed to hear, you are not a burden. You are a human being with a tender heart. If those words did not come from others, they can begin to come from you now. And when they come from you, they are not less powerful. They are a return of your own love to the places that have waited for it. Kind words are not empty. They were not small. They are not just soft sounds. Words create the atmosphere inside you. If your inner words are filled with fear, the body prepares for danger. If your inner words are filled with shame, the heart closes. If your inner words are filled with pressure, the mind keeps running. But when your words become gentle, something inside begins to loosen. The body hears safety. The heart hears care. The mind hears a new direction. The tired part hears, maybe I do not have to fight here. Maybe I can stop hiding. Maybe I am welcome in this life too. There is a reason simple words often heal more deeply than complicated ones. The tired part of you does not need long explanations. It needs words it can believe. It needs words that feel close. Words like, I am safe tonight. I can rest now. I do not have to solve everything. I am allowed to be gentle with myself. My body is doing its best. My heart is allowed to soften. Life can support me while I sleep. These words are not trying to force the future. They are not trying to deny the present. They are simply giving your inner world a kinder place to rest. You may notice that some loving words feel hard to receive at first. That is not failure. It only means the tired part of you has been used to a different language. If you have spoken to yourself with pressure for years, kindness may feel unfamiliar. If you have treated rest like weakness, permission may feel strange. If you have believed that peace must be earned, unconditional softness may feel almost uncomfortable. Let it be unfamiliar. New love often feels strange before it feels safe. Do not reject it because it does not feel natural yet. Let it come near. Let the words sit quietly at the door of your heart until the tired part is ready to open. Tonight, do not use beautiful words as a weapon against yourself. Do not say affirmations with hidden pressure underneath. Do not turn healing sentences into another way to judge your progress. If you say, I am peaceful, but your heart is not peaceful, do not attack yourself. You can say something softer. I am learning to welcome peace. I am willing to let my body feel safe. I am open to resting tonight. I am allowed to soften little by little. These words leave room for your humanity. They do not demand that you leap into a feeling you cannot yet reach. They simply open a gentle door. The tired part of you needs a voice that feels patient, a voice that does not rush its healing, a voice that understands some heaviness has been carried for a long time, a voice that says, even if you are not ready to let go of everything, I will still be kind to you. Even if your mind is noisy tonight, I will not shame you. Even if your heart feels tender, I will not call you weak. Even if your body feels heavy, I will not treat you like a problem. I will stay close. I will listen. I will speak love until love becomes easier to receive. There may be old voices inside you that are not truly yours, voices from people who judged you, voices from times when you felt unseen, voices from moments when your needs were ignored, voices from fear, rejection, pressure, or past pain. These voices may still speak in your mind as if they belong to you. But learned voices can be unlearned. Repeated voices can be replaced. A new voice can grow through practice. Not a loud voice, not a false voice, a loving voice. A voice that says, I no longer agree to speak to myself in the language of old pain. I am learning the language of comfort. I am learning the language of peace. The tired part of you may be waiting for one sentence tonight. Not a perfect sentence, not a dramatic sentence, just a true and loving one. Maybe the sentence is, I believe you. Maybe it is, you have done enough for today. Maybe it is, you are safe to stop now. Maybe it is, I will not abandon you because you are tired. Maybe it is, you do not have to hold this alone. Maybe it is, peace is allowed to reach you here. Choose the sentence that feels warmest. Let it become a small light inside you. Let it speak to the place that has felt forgotten. Kind words also teach the body how to release. When you speak gently, the body does not need to brace against you. It does not need to defend itself from your own mind. Imagine how different it feels to hear what is wrong with you compared to I am here with you. The first sentence tightens. The second sentence softens. The first sentence creates distance. The second sentence creates safety. Tonight, let your words become safety. Let them become the place where the tired part can lay down its guard. You are not trying to control the body. You are learning to befriend it. Sometimes the tired part of you is not asking for advice. It is asking for comfort. Not every feeling needs to be analyzed. Not every heavy place needs to be explained. Sometimes the most healing thing is not figuring out why you feel tired, but allowing yourself to feel cared for while tired. You can understand later. You can make decisions later. You can take action later. Tonight, the tired part may simply need to know that it is not alone. It may need to know that your love is not only available when you are productive, cheerful, useful, and strong. Your love is also available when you are quiet, heavy, unsure, and ready to rest. There is a beautiful shift that happens when you stop speaking to yourself like a problem to fix and begin speaking to yourself like someone to love. The whole inner world changes. The tiredness becomes less frightening. The sadness becomes less shameful. The need for rest becomes less guilty. You begin to understand that the part of you that hurts is not the enemy. It is the doorway. It is the place where love has been waiting to enter. If you keep attacking that doorway, it stays closed. If you approach it with kindness, it begins to open. Tonight, speak to yourself in words that your heart can understand. You do not need hard words. You do not need perfect words. You do not need to sound wise or spiritual. Speak simply. My dear heart, you can rest. My dear body, thank you for carrying me. My dear mind, you can stop trying to solve everything tonight. My dear tired self, I see you. I am sorry I pushed you for so long. I am learning how to care for you now. These words may seem simple, but simple love is often the love that reaches deepest. If tears come when you speak kindly to yourself, let them be part of the softening. Tears are not proof that you are failing. They may be proof that a closed place inside you has finally heard a kind voice. If emotion rises, do not turn away. Let it move through without making it wrong. Sometimes the tired part cries not because it is becoming weaker, but because it finally feels safe enough to stop holding everything in. Kindness can open what pressure kept locked. Softness can reach what force could not touch. Love can enter the places that judgment could never heal. Tonight, the tired part of you needs to hear that it does not have to earn rest by explaining its pain. It does not have to make others understand before it is allowed to soften. It does not have to prove that the day was hard enough. It does not have to justify the heaviness. If you are tired, you are allowed to be tired. If your heart feels full, you are allowed to feel full. If your mind has been loud, you are allowed to choose quiet. Your experience does not need a courtroom. It needs compassion. It needs space. It needs peace. Let your inner voice become the home you once searched for outside yourself. A home where you are not laughed at for feeling deeply. A home where you are not rushed through pain. A home where you are not loved only when you are easy. A home where the tired part can enter without apology. This is emotional safety. It begins in the way you speak inwardly. It begins when you stop repeating the voice that hurt you and start creating the voice that heals you. You may not have received this voice before, but you can grow it now. You can become the gentle presence your tired heart has needed. So tonight, let these words move through you softly. I speak gently to the tired part of me. I do not shame my need for rest. I do not rush my healing. I do not call my heaviness weakness. I offer kind words to the places that have carried too much. I am allowed to comfort myself. I am allowed to be patient with myself. I am allowed to become a safe place for my own heart. And as these words enter, peace begins to recognize the doorway. It finds the tired part of you not because you forced it, but because you finally gave it a loving place to land. Your body has been listening to your life. It has listened to every worry you carried quietly. It has listened to every moment you held your breath without knowing it has lied. Stained to every time you said yes when something in you wanted to say no. It has listened to the pressure, the rushing, the waiting, the hoping, the disappointment, the strength, the hidden tears, the long days, and the nights when your mind would not stop moving. Your body has been with you through everything. It has not abandoned you. Even when you judged it, it stayed. Even when you pushed it, it carried you. Even when you ignored its signals, it kept trying to speak. Tonight, the body does not need to be treated like a machine. It does not need to be commanded into peace. It does not need to be blamed for feeling heavy. It needs safety. It needs your kindness. It needs to hear that it does not have to fight right now. The body has its own language. It speaks through tightness, tiredness, warmth, heaviness, restlessness, softness, and release. Sometimes it speaks before the mind understands. Sometimes it carries truth before the heart has words. So tonight, instead of asking, "Why can't I relax?" you can ask, "What would help my body feel safe enough to soften?" Safety is not always a big feeling. Sometimes safety begins as a small inner message. I am here. I am listening. I will not rush you. I will not shame you. I will not force you to become calm. The body responds to the way you approach it. If you come with fear, it may tighten. If you come with anger, it may protect itself. If you come with pressure, it may feel more alert. But if you come with patience, warmth, and gentle attention, it may begin to understand that the night is not another battle. The night can become a place where the body is finally allowed to stop preparing for danger. Many tired bodies are not only tired from work, they are tired from being on guard. On guard for someone's mood, on guard for a message, on guard for rejection, on guard for bad news, on guard for money worries, on guard for health fears, on guard for the next thing that might go wrong. The body can become so used to guarding that peace feels unfamiliar. It may hold the shoulders high, tighten the chest, clench the jaw, or keep the stomach in a quiet knot. This does not mean your body is against peace. It means your body has been trained by stress. And what has been trained by stress can be retrained by love. Tonight, let the body know it does not have to earn gentleness. You do not have to like every part of your body perfectly before you speak kindly to it. You do not have to feel fully peaceful before you offer comfort. You can begin right where you are. Dear body, thank you for carrying me today. Thank you for holding so much. I know I have asked a lot of you. I know I have not always listened. Tonight, I want to listen more. Tonight, I want to be on your side. These words can begin to change the relationship. The body is not a problem to defeat. It is a companion to care for. There may be places in the body that hold the day more tightly than others. The chest may hold sadness. The throat may hold words not spoken. The stomach may hold worry. The back may hold responsibility. The face may hold the effort of appearing fine. The hands may hold the need to control. Do not make any of this wrong. These places have been trying to help you survive. They have held what you did not know how to release. Tonight, you can meet them with compassion. You can let your inner voice say, you do not have to hold this so tightly now. You are allowed to soften in your own time. The body needs to know that rest is not dangerous. If you have lived in stress for a long time, stillness may bring up feelings you were too busy to feel. That is why some people become uncomfortable when life becomes quiet. The body says, what is happening? Are we safe? Should we be doing something? Should we be fixing something? Should we be checking something? This reaction is understandable. Do not fight it, teach it. Teach the body through kindness that quiet does not mean danger. Teach the mind that stillness does not mean abandonment. Teach the heart that rest does not mean you are alone. Tonight, peace can sit with you in the quiet. Your body may not release everything at once, and it does not need to. Do not make softness another demand. Do not say, I must relax right now. That becomes more pressure. Instead, invite, allow, welcome. A body that has been rushed needs time to trust slowness. A body that has been criticized needs time to trust love. A body that has been ignored needs time to believe you are truly listening. So if the body only softens a little, let that be enough. If the mind stays somewhat busy, let there still be kindness. If rest comes slowly, do not call it failure. Call it the beginning of learning a new way. The tired part of your body may be carrying old survival. It may remember seasons when you had to stay alert. It may remember times when you could not fully relax because life felt uncertain. It may remember emotional pressure, disappointment, grief, or fear. The body does not always separate past from present quickly. Sometimes an old fear can live in a present moment until love teaches it otherwise. So tonight, you can become the gentle teacher. You can remind your body that was then and this is now. We are not in that old moment. We are here. We are learning safety. We are allowed to rest. There is a deep healing in becoming friendly with your own body. Not only when it feels strong, not only when it looks the way you want, not only when it gives you energy, but also when it is tired, tender, slow, or asking for care. Friendship with the body means you stop speaking to it like an enemy. You stop treating its needs like interruptions. You stop believing your body must be pushed into worthiness. Your body is already worthy of care. It is the home your soul is living in tonight. It deserves warmth, respect, patience, and love. The body hears the stories you tell about yourself. If you keep saying, I am never safe, the body may brace. If you keep saying, nothing ever works, the body may sink. If you keep saying, I have to do everything alone, the body may tighten under the weight. But if you begin to say, I am learning to feel supported, the body hears a new message. If you say, I can meet life step by step, the body hears a softer rhythm. If you say, I am allowed to rest tonight, the body hears permission. Your words become signals. Your tone becomes an atmosphere. Your gentleness becomes medicine. Tonight, let your body receive simple truths. You do not have to carry tomorrow right now. You do not have to stay ready for every possible problem. You do not have to hold the past in your muscles. You do not have to protect everyone from everything. You do not have to prove your worth through tension. You are allowed to be here. You are allowed to be held by the night. You are allowed to release what your hands cannot fix. You are allowed to rest without knowing the whole answer. These truths may move slowly, but they move deeply. Sometimes the body softens when the heart finally feels believed. Maybe the tired part of you has been saying, I cannot keep going like this, and the mind has answered, you have to. Tonight, let the answer be different. Let the answer be, I believe you. I will listen. We can change the way we carry this. We can stop making fear the only guide. We can stop treating your signals like weakness. We can learn a softer rhythm. We can rest tonight without giving up on life. These words tell the body that you are no longer against it. You are returning to partnership. There is a quiet blessing in letting the body be human. It does not have to be endlessly strong. It does not have to be calm every moment. It does not have to heal according to your schedule. It does not have to perform peace. It is allowed to move through its own process. You can support it, love it, nourish it, and care for it without turning care into control. The body knows the difference between being supported and being forced. Tonight, choose support. Choose tenderness. Choose the kind of inner presence that says, I am with you, dear body. I will not make this night another place of pressure. Let the body feel that it belongs to you in love, not in criticism. Let it know that you are not only here to demand energy from it. You are here to care for it. You are here to notice when it has been carrying too much. You are here to let it be part of your healing. A peaceful life is not created only in the mind. It is created in the body too. It is created when the body no longer feels like it must brace against your own thoughts. It is created when the chest can soften because the heart is not being judged. It is created when the stomach can loosen because tomorrow is not being forced into tonight. It is created when the whole inner world hears we are safe enough to rest now. Tonight, the body may become the doorway through which peace finds you. Not because you command it to relax, but because you stop fighting it. Not because you make it perfect, but because you make it welcome. Not because every fear disappears, but because fear is no longer alone inside you. Your body does not need to fight tonight. Your body is allowed to soften. Your body is allowed to receive kindness. Your body is allowed to be held by rest. And as it begins to feel safer, the tired part of you may finally feel that it does not have to carry everything in silence. So let this be the message you give your body tonight. Dear body, you have carried me through another day. You have held my worries, my hopes, my work, my love, my fear, and my dreams. I thank you. I will not speak to you with anger tonight. I will not demand more from you tonight. I will not make you hold what belongs to tomorrow. I allow you to soften in the way you can. I allow you to receive peace in the places that feel tired. I allow the night to be gentle with you. I allow myself to be gentle with you. And as you feel safe, peace finds the tired part of me and brings it home to love. The night was never meant to become a courtroom for your whole life. It was never meant to be the place where every worry stands up and asks to be judged, every memory returns to be explained, every fear demands proof, and every unfinished question asks your tired mind for an answer. The night was meant to be a soft return, a place where the body can lay down the weight of the day, a place where the heart can stop defending itself, a place where the mind can stop running toward tomorrow before tomorrow has even opened its door. But many gentle hearts do the opposite. They wait until the room is quiet, and then the mind becomes loud. They lie down to rest, but inside they begin working again, thinking, solving, remembering, regretting, preparing, wondering, fearing. The body is ready for peace, but the mind keeps acting as if it must protect life through worry. My dear, your mind is not your enemy. It is trying to protect you. It believes that if it thinks long enough, it can prevent pain. It believes that if it goes over the same conversation enough times, it can find the perfect answer. It believes that if it worries about tomorrow tonight, it will be ready for everything. But the mind was never designed to carry the whole future in the dark. It becomes tired when it tries to hold what only life can unfold in time. It becomes heavy when it keeps searching for certainty in places where trust is needed. It becomes restless when every thought is treated like an emergency. Tonight, you can speak to the mind with love and say, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but you do not have to solve my whole life tonight." Some thoughts arrive at night because they have been waiting for quiet. During the day, you may move quickly. You may answer people, finish tasks, handle duties, take care of others, and keep going. But when the noise becomes less, the hidden thoughts rise. The question you avoided comes back. The feeling you push down comes closer. The memory you did not want to feel softly enters. This does not mean something is wrong with you. It only means your inner world wants attention. But attention does not always mean analysis. Sometimes attention means compassion. Sometimes the thought does not need a solution tonight. It only needs a loving place to land. It needs to be met with, I see you, and I will not fight you. I will not make you bigger by fearing you. I will let you pass through without building a home inside you. The tired mind often believes that peace must come after answers. It says, when I understand everything, then I can rest. When I know what will happen, then I can soften. When I know what they meant, then I can let go. When I know how tomorrow will unfold, then I can sleep. But this is a hard way to live, because many answers do not come before rest. Some answers come because of rest. Some clarity comes when the mind is not forcing. Some wisdom rises when the body feels safe. Some guidance becomes clear after the heart has stopped shaking. So tonight, do not make peace wait at the end of every answer. Let peace come first. Let peace be the ground where the answer may gently grow. There may be a part of you that keeps replaying what happened today. Maybe you wish you said something differently. Maybe you wonder if someone misunderstood you. Maybe you are holding a look, a tone, a message, a silence, a delay, a small moment that touched an old wound. The mind may take that moment and turn it around again and again, hoping to find relief. But repeating the same pain with the same fear does not heal the pain. It only makes the body live through it again. Tonight, you can let the mind know that the day is allowed to end. You can say, I have learned what I can for now. I release the need to replay this with pain. I will meet what needs to be met with a clearer heart when the time is right. Maybe your mind goes toward tomorrow. It begins counting problems before they arrive. It imagines hard conversations. It makes pictures of things going wrong. It turns simple duties into mountains. It asks, what if I cannot handle it? What if I am not ready? What if I fail? What if something changes? What if nothing changes? My dear, fear asks many questions, but not every question deserves your life force tonight. You can answer fear with a softer question. What if support meets me tomorrow? What if I receive strength when I need it? What if the next step becomes clear at the right time? What if I do not have to carry tomorrow inside tonight's tired body? These questions do not deny life. They open the mind to a kinder possibility. Your mind may also try to solve other people. It may wonder why they acted that way, why they did not call, why they changed, why they stayed silent, why they could not love you the way you needed. These questions can become very heavy at night because See, the heart is more tender when the world is quiet, but you do not need to enter every old room tonight. You do not need to pull every person into your mind and ask them to explain themselves before you can rest. Some people may never give the answer your heart deserved. Some stories may never become clear in the way your mind wants. But your peace does not have to depend on their explanation. Tonight, you can return the mind to yourself. You can say, I release the need to understand everything before I am allowed to rest. I choose to come back to my own heart. There is a deep peace in knowing that you can care without carrying everything. You can love someone without solving them. You can be responsible without worrying all night. You can be wise without rehearsing every possible outcome. You can be healing without understanding every wound at once. You can be open to guidance without forcing signs from the universe. You can want a better life without turning tonight into a place of pressure. This is a new way of living. It does not make you careless. It makes you gentle. It does not make you weak. It helps your strength become peaceful instead of tense. The tired mind needs a simple message tonight. It does not need a long lecture. It does not need another demand. It needs a warm direction. You can tell it, dear mind, you have worked hard today. You have tried to protect me. You have tried to plan, remember, decide, and prepare. I thank you. But now I am guiding you toward rest. You do not have to search for danger right now. You do not have to solve every old story. You do not have to hold every future path. You can become softer. You can allow silence to be safe. You can let peace come near without asking it to explain itself. Sometimes peace enters the mind when the mind is given permission to be unfinished. This is important. You do not have to finish every thought tonight. You do not have to finish every feeling tonight. You do not have to finish every decision tonight. A thought can remain open and you can still rest. A feeling can remain tender and you can still be kind. A situation can remain unclear and you can still be held by the night. Your need for peace is not canceled by the fact that life is still in process. Life is always in process. Healing is always unfolding. Not everything becomes complete before you are allowed to rest. The old pattern says, stay awake inside until you feel certain. The new pattern says, I can rest even while life is still unfolding. The old pattern says, worry proves I care. The new pattern says, kindness is also care. The old pattern says, if I stop thinking, I will lose control. The new pattern says, I can release fear and still be guided. The old pattern says, peace must be earned through struggle. The new pattern says, peace is allowed to find me now. Let these new messages become gentle lights in the mind. Let them speak to the part of you that has been working too hard in the day. Like tonight, you do not need to push thoughts away with force. Force often makes them louder. Instead, you can stop feeding them with fear. A thought may come, and you can say, "Not tonight, dear one." A worry may rise, and you can say, "I will meet this with a clearer heart when the time is right." A memory may visit, and you can say, "I honor what I felt, but I do not need to live there tonight." A fear may whisper, and you can say, "I hear you, but I choose peace as my resting place." This is not denial. This is loving leadership inside your own mind. The more you practice this, the more your mind begins to trust that night is not danger. Night is not the place where it must work harder. Night is not the place where old fear gets the final word. Night can become a soft bridge. It can help your thoughts return to the heart. It can help the heart return to the body. It can help the body return to rest. And in that return, the tired part of you begins to feel less alone. It no longer has to stand at the door of tomorrow with fear in its hands. It can lie down inside the truth that life does not need your constant worry to keep moving. So let the mind receive this tonight. I do not need to solve my whole life tonight. I do not need to replay every old pain. I do not need to prepare for every possible tomorrow. I am allowed to rest while answers are still forming. I am allowed to be at peace before everything is clear. I am allowed to stop using worry as proof that I care. I care for myself by letting the night be gentle. I care for my future by not entering it already exhausted. I care for my heart by giving it peace now. Tonight does not need many thoughts. It only needs a loving direction. When the mind is tired, too many words can feel like more weight. Too many ideas can become another form of noise. Too many intentions can make rest feel like another task. So tonight, give the night a single loving thought. Let it be simple enough for the tired heart to receive. Let it be soft enough that the body does not resist it. Let it be warm enough that the mind does not feel forced. The thought does not have to fix your whole life. It only has to guide your inner world toward peace. A loving thought before sleep is like placing a small lamp inside the heart. It does not need to light the whole road. It only needs to remind you that darkness is not empty. There is support here. There is breath here. There is a quiet kindness available here. The loving thought may be, "Tonight, I am safe to rest," or "Tonight, I let life hold what I cannot carry," or "Tonight, peace finds the tired part of me." Choose the words that feel gentle. Do not choose the words because they sound impressive. Choose the words your body can believe a little. Choose the words that do not create pressure. Choose the words that feel like a warm hand on the heart. The final thought you give the night matters because the mind carries it into the deep places. If the final thought is fear, the body may keep listening for danger. If the final thought is regret, the heart may keep turning toward the past. If the final thought is pressure, the nervous system may stay alert. But if the final thought is love, something inside receives a different message. It hears, we are safe enough for now. We can soften. We can stop preparing for pain. We can let tomorrow wait. We can let the heart rest in a kinder story. This is not about forcing perfect thoughts. It is about choosing the atmosphere you want your inner world to sleep inside. Many people end the day by reviewing everything they did wrong. They think about what they forgot, what they should have said, what they should have finished, how they should have acted, how they should have felt. The mind becomes harsh at the very moment the heart needs care. My dear, do not make the last voice of your day a voice of judgment. Let the last voice be a loving one. Even if the day was not perfect, speak kindly. Even if you made mistakes, speak kindly. Even if you are still learning, speak kindly. A hard day does not need a hard ending. A tired heart does not need a final wound before sleep. Tonight, your loving thought can become a blessing over the day. You can say, I did what I could with the strength I had. I release the rest for tonight. I forgive myself for what I did not know. I bless the effort no one saw. I let this day end without turning against myself. These words do not pretend the day was perfect. They simply stop the mind from using the day as a weapon. They allow the heart to put down the sharp edges. They remind you that you are not here to punish yourself into peace. You are here to love yourself back into wholeness. If the tired part of you feels lonely tonight, let the loving thought speak to that loneliness. Say, I am with myself tonight. I do not abandon the tender places in me. I let love sit beside what feels empty. I do not need to chase anyone's attention in order to feel worthy of care. Love can begin here, in the way I stay with myself. These words may reach a place that has been waiting for comfort. They may not remove every ache at once, but they can make the ache less alone. And sometimes that is where healing begins. Not when pain disappears, but when pain is no longer left without love. If the tired part of you feels afraid, let the loving thought speak safety. Say, I do not have to live inside tomorrow tonight. I am here now. I am held by this moment. My body can soften in its own time. My heart can rest without knowing every answer. Life has carried me through many nights before, and I allow myself to be carried through this one. Fear may still whisper, but it does not need to lead. Fear may still appear, but it does not need to become your whole home. A loving thought gives fear a softer place to sit. If the tired part of you feels disappointed, let the loving thought speak hope without fear. Assure. Say, what has not arrived yet is not proof that I have been forgotten. What has not changed yet is not proof that nothing is moving. Life can still arrange what I cannot see. My heart can rest while better things are forming. I release the need to measure my future by this one tired night. There is still good ahead of me. These words open the window inside. They do not force you to feel happy. They simply remind the tired heart that this moment is not the whole story. If the tired part of you feels guilty for resting, let the loving thought speak permission. Say, I do not have to earn rest through exhaustion. I do not have to suffer more to deserve peace. My body is worthy of care now. My mind is worthy of quiet now. My heart is worthy of softness now. I can rest and still be a loving person. I can rest and still be responsible. I can rest and still be guided. This kind of permission can feel new. Let it be new. The part of you that was trained to push may need time to trust a gentler truth. A loving thought before sleep is not a magic command. It is a relationship. It is a way of telling your inner world, I will not end the day by frightening you. I will not hand you over to old fear. I will not make you sleep beside shame. I will give you something tender to hold. And as this becomes a practice, the mind begins to learn. The body begins to trust. The heart begins to expect kindness instead of attack. The night begins to feel less like a place where worries gather and more like a place where peace can return. You do not need to repeat the thought in a tense way. You do not need to make it perfect. You do not need to check whether it is working. Let the thought be soft. Let it move through you like a quiet blessing. If the mind wanders, return gently. If other thoughts come, do not fight them. Let the loving thought remain like a small, steady light. It does not have to be louder than fear. It only has to be truer than fear. It only has to remind you that fear is not the only voice within you. Tonight, the thought may be this: I let life hold what I cannot carry. Feel the kindness in that. You are not saying your life does not matter. You are saying you do not have to hold it with fear. You are not saying you will never take action. You are saying action does not need to come from panic. You are not saying you have no dreams. You are saying dreams can grow in peace as well as effort. I let life hold what I cannot carry. This thought gives the tired hands inside you permission to open. Or the thought may be this: peace is allowed to find me tonight. You do not have to chase it. You do not have to prove you are calm enough. You do not have to become a perfect person before peace is willing to come close. Peace is not looking for perfection. Peace is looking for an opening. And the opening may be as simple as your willingness to stop fighting yourself for the night. Peace is allowed to find me tonight. Peace is allowed to touch the tired place. Peace is allowed to be gentle with me before I know how to be fully gentle with myself. Or the thought may be this: I am safe to rest. These words may be small, but they are deep. Some part of you may have believed it is not safe to rest. not safe to stop watching, not safe to stop proving, not safe to stop pleasing, not safe to stop controlling. But tonight, a new message can begin. I am safe to rest. I am safe to soften. I am safe to let the day end. I am safe to receive care from my own loving voice. I am safe to let my body be a body and not a battlefield. Let the loving thought become the doorway from the day into the night. Behind you is what has been done and what has not been done. Ahead of you is what will unfold when morning comes. But here, in this doorway, you are allowed to be tender. You are allowed to stop performing strength. You are allowed to stop explaining your tiredness. You are allowed to place your hand over your own heart and spirit and say, I choose peace as the last gift I give myself today. I choose kindness as the final language of this day. I choose rest as an act of love. And if the old mind says this is too simple, smile gently at that thought. Healing is often simple. Not easy every time, but simple. The body does not always need a big answer. Sometimes it needs water, warmth, quiet, and kind words. The heart does not always need a full plan. Sometimes it needs to hear, I am here. The mind does not always need every path explained. Sometimes it needs a safe place to stop running. Do not reject simple peace because pain has been complicated. Simple love can reach places complicated thinking never touched. So tonight, give the night one loving thought. Let it be enough. Do not turn it into pressure. Do not make it another thing you must do correctly. Let it be a soft offering. Let it be a way of saying, I am changing the way I end my day. I am no longer giving the final word to fear. I am no longer giving the final word to shame. I am no longer giving the final word to tomorrow's worries. Tonight, the final word is love. Tonight, the final word is peace. Tonight, the final word is rest. Peace does not always arrive because every outer problem has disappeared. Sometimes peace arrives because you stop turning against yourself inside the problem. Sometimes peace comes not when the world becomes quiet, but when your inner voice becomes kinder. Sometimes peace comes not when the future becomes clear, but when you stop demanding that your tired heart feels certain before it is allowed to rest. Peace finds you when you stop treating your tiredness like an enemy. It finds you when you stop judging the part of you that needs care. It finds you when you stop saying, I should not feel this, and begin saying, I can meet this with love. For many people, the deepest fight is not with life. It is with themselves. They fight their feelings. They fight their tiredness. They fight their need for help. They fight their own pace. They fight the past. They fight the body. They fight the mind for not becoming silent fast enough. They fight the heart for not healing quickly enough. And this inner fighting becomes another weight. The original pain may be heavy, but the judgment added on top makes it even heavier. Tonight, you are invited to stop adding the second weight. You are invited to let the feeling be here without making it wrong. You are invited to let the tired part be tired without making it ashamed. There is a soft freedom in saying, "This is what I feel tonight, and I will not punish myself for it." Maybe you feel heavy. Maybe you feel tender. Maybe you feel quiet. Maybe you feel lonely. Maybe you feel hopeful and afraid at the same time. Maybe you do not know what you feel. All of this can be met with kindness. You do not have to understand every feeling to stop attacking it. You do not have to name every wound to stop pouring criticism over it. You can simply say, "Whatever is here in me tonight, I choose to meet it with less fear and more love." Peace finds the part of you that you stop rejecting. If you reject your sadness, peace cannot easily enter sadness. If you reject your body, peace cannot easily enter the body. If you reject your tiredness, peace cannot easily enter tiredness. But when you turn toward these places with warmth, peace has a doorway. It can move into the places you once pushed away. It can sit beside the grief, the worry, the disappointment, the exhaustion, and the old fear. It can say, "You are not outside love. You are not too heavy for tenderness. You do not have to be hidden before rest can come." This is a powerful shift. Instead of asking, "How do I get rid of this tiredness right now?" you ask, "How can I love the tired part of me tonight?" Instead of asking, "Why am I still struggling?" you ask, "What part of me needs comfort?" Instead of asking, "When will I finally be better?" you ask, "How can I be kinder to myself while I am becoming better?" These questions change everything. They move you from war into relationship. They move you from pressure into presence. They move you from self-judgment into self-care. And peace can grow in that soil. The old way may say, "I will love myself when I feel calm. I will rest when I feel worthy. I will be kind to my body when it gives me the energy I want. I will speak gently to my heart when it stops hurting." But love that only comes after perfection is not healing love. Healing love arrives in the middle. It arrives when you are still learning. It arrives when your thoughts are still untidy. It arrives when the body is tired. It arrives when the heart is unsure. It arrives and says, "I will not wait until you are perfect to be gentle with you. I will be gentle now." Tonight, stop making your tiredness pass a test before it receives peace. Do not ask it to explain itself perfectly. Do not ask it to prove that it has suffered enough. Do not ask it to become quiet before you offer kindness. Let peace come to it exactly as it is. This is how the inner fight begins to soften, not through force, but through acceptance, not through giving up, but through giving love to the place that has been fighting for too long. Acceptance does not mean you want to stay stuck. It means you stop using hatred as a tool for change. You cannot hate yourself into true peace. You can only love yourself back into it. There may be a part of you that feels angry at yourself for being tired, angry that you cannot do more, angry that you still care, angry that you are still affected by what happened, angry that you need rest when there is so much to do. Let even that anger be met with tenderness. Anger may be protecting a hurt place. It may be saying, I do not want to feel helpless. I do not want to be disappointed again. I do not want to need anyone. I do not want to be weak. Underneath anger, there may be fear. Underneath fear, there may be a tired heart asking to be safe. Tonight, listen deeper than the first emotion. When you stop fighting yourself, you begin to hear yourself. And when you hear yourself, you begin to understand what peace actually needs from you. Maybe peace needs you to stop checking what hurts you. Maybe peace needs you to stop saying yes when your body has no strength. Maybe peace needs you to stop speaking to yourself like someone who is always failing. Maybe peace needs you to stop making someone else's response the measure of your worth. Maybe peace needs you to stop making the future responsible for giving you permission to breathe tonight. These are not punishments. They are loving adjustments. Peace is not always a feeling that drops from the sky. Sometimes peace is a choice not to continue an old inner argument. It is the choice to stop debating your worth. It is the choice to stop proving your pain. It is the choice to stop turning every mistake into an identity. It is the choice to stop making every delay mean rejection. It is the choice to stop asking tired questions that only make the heart smaller. Peace begins when you choose a gentler meaning. This moment is hard, but it is not the whole story. I am tired, but I am not broken. I am uncertain, but I am still held. I am healing, and healing takes kindness. There is a tired part of you that has been waiting for you to become safe. Not for life to become perfect. Not for everyone to understand you. Not for every problem to disappear. For you to become safe within yourself. Safe enough to feel without being blamed. Safe enough to rest without being called lazy. Safe enough to need comfort without being judged. Safe enough to be quiet without being forgotten. Safe enough to be human. When you become this safe place, peace does not feel so far away. It recognizes your inner home. It enters through the door of your own compassion. The fight with yourself may have been going on for so long that it feels normal. You may not notice how often you criticize your own pace, how often you compare your healing, how often you tell yourself you should be further along, how often you make your feelings into evidence that you are failing. But tonight, you can begin again. You can say, I release the need to be cruel to myself in order to grow. I release the belief that pressure is the only way forward. I release the habit of turning against my own heart. I choose to stand beside myself. I choose to be a friend to the tired part of me. This does not mean you never change. It means change begins from love. You can still make better choices. You can still set boundaries. You can still take action. You can still heal patterns. You can still learn, grow, and become stronger. But you no longer do it by attacking yourself. You do it by guiding yourself. You do it by saying, we are learning a new way. We are moving toward peace. We are not staying in what hurts, but we are not hurting ourselves on the way out. This is gentle strength. This is the kind of strength the tired part of you can trust. Tonight, let the old fight loosen. Let the body stop being the enemy. Let the mind stop being the enemy. Let the tiredness stop being the enemy. Let the feelings stop being the enemy. These are parts of you asking for care, direction, and love. When you stop fighting them, they do not control you more. They begin to trust you more. The body softens when it is not blamed. The mind quiets when it is not forced. The heart opens when it is not judged. The tired part rests when it is finally welcomed. Peace finds you when your own inner door opens. And the door opens through kindness. It opens when you say, I am done making war inside myself tonight. It opens when you say, I will not carry shame into my sleep. It opens when you say, I can be tired and still worthy. I can be unfinished and still loved. I can be uncertain and still safe enough to rest. I can have feelings and still be whole. These words are keys. They unlock the place where the tired part has been waiting. So tonight, let peace find you in the place you have stopped rejecting. Let it find the tired mind. Let it find the heavy heart. Let it find the body that has carried too much. Let it find the part that wanted to be held but did not know how to ask. Let it find the part that kept saying, I am fine, while quietly needing love. Let it find you without performance, without proof, without pressure. Peace does not need you to pretend. Peace can meet the truth of you, and the truth of you tonight is worthy of gentleness. Sleep is not only the closing of the day, it can be a soft return to love. It can be the moment when you stop trying to manage every part of life with a tired mind. It can be the moment when the body is allowed to remember that it belongs to rest, not only effort. It can be the moment when the heart is no longer asked to hold every feeling alone. Sleep, Sal, and become a quiet act of trust. You are not leaving your life behind. You are letting your life be held by something deeper while you return to your own center. When you sleep, life does not stop loving you. The heart continues its quiet work. The body continues its hidden healing. The deeper mind continues sorting, releasing, softening, and restoring in ways you do not need to control. There is a wisdom in you that does not require your constant attention. There is an intelligence in the body that keeps serving even when you are not managing it. There is a quiet grace in rest that reminds you that not everything depends on your effort. Tonight, you can trust that you are allowed to be cared for in ways you do not fully understand. The tired part of you may be afraid to let go because it has been disappointed before. It may say, if I soften, will I be safe? If I rest, will I still be loved? If I stop carrying, will anyone carry me? If I stop worrying, will life still move? These are tender questions. Do not dismiss them. Let love answer them gently. Yes, you are safe to soften little by little. Yes, you are worthy of love even when you are not doing anything. Yes, life can support you in quiet ways. Yes, you can rest without losing the path. You do not need to force trust. You can allow it to grow slowly through kindness. Sleep as a return to love means you do not enter the night as someone who must be fixed. You enter as someone who is worthy of care. You do not have to bring a perfect mind. You do not have to bring a perfectly calm body. You do not have to bring a heart that has everything understood. You can bring your tiredness. You can bring your tenderness. You can bring your unfinished feelings. You can bring the part of you that still hopes. You can bring the part of you that is afraid. And love can receive all of it. Nothing in you has to be left outside the door of rest. Tonight, imagine the day gently loosening from you. Not because the day was meaningless, but because it is complete enough for now. The words spoken today can rest. The things undone can rest. The people you worried about can rest in the hands of life. The old thoughts can soften their grip. The body can stop holding every moment like it must carry it into the night. You can let the day become the day and let the night become the night. There is a quiet order in that. The day is for movement. The night is for return. The day asks you to meet life. The night invites you to come home to yourself. Coming home to yourself may feel simple. It may feel like no longer needing to prove. It may feel like letting your face soften after holding it together for others. It may feel like allowing the heart to be honest. It may feel like saying, I am tired, and that is allowed. It may feel like remembering that you are more than your problems. You are more than your work. You are more than your fear. You are more than what still needs to change. You are a soul worthy of rest. You are a heart worthy of peace. You are a human being worthy of tenderness. Sleep can become a gentle place where you return the burdens that do not belong to the night. You return tomorrow to tomorrow. You return the past to the past. You return other people's choices to them. You return what you cannot control to life. You return your body to rest. You return your heart to love. You return your mind to quiet direction. This is not abandonment. This is order. You are placing things where they belong. Not everything belongs in your chest while you sleep. Not everything belongs in your mind when the body is asking for peace. Tonight, let each burden go back to its proper place. There is a deep kindness in telling yourself, I have carried enough for today. These words can touch the tired place inside you. They do not say you are finished forever. They do not say nothing matters. They say the day has asked enough from you for now. They say your body deserves care. They say your mind deserves relief. They say your heart deserves a soft ending. I have carried enough for today. I let the night carry me. I have thought enough for today. I let peace think through me in silence. I have tried enough for today. I let love restore what effort cannot. Sleep also teaches trust because you cannot control it completely. You cannot force true rest with pressure. You can only create a loving inner space and allow rest to come in its own way. This is much like healing, much like love, much like receiving. The deepest things in life cannot always be grabbed. They are welcomed. They are allowed. They are invited through safety. So tonight, instead of forcing yourself to rest, welcome rest. Instead of ordering the mind to stop, guide it gently. Instead of blaming the body for still holding tension, thank it and offer softness. Rest comes more easily where it is welcomed than where it is demanded. The tired part of you may have been waiting for a night like this. Not a perfect night, but a kinder night. A night where you stop making your peace depend on someone else's answer. A night where you stop measuring your worth by what you did today. A night where you stop treating rest like something you must earn. A night where you remember that love can reach you in stillness. Love can reach the tired part. Love can reach the place that has been quietly waiting. Love can reach the part that thought it had to be strong forever. Tonight, let sleep become a soft return to love by choosing what you will not carry. You will not carry self-blame into the night. You will not carry every possible fear. You will not carry the need to fix everyone. You will not carry the old belief that your tiredness makes you weak. You will not carry the pressure to become healed before you are kind to yourself. Instead, you carry a softer truth. I am allowed to rest as I am. I am allowed to be loved as I am. I am allowed to receive peace as I am. The night does not ask me to be perfect. It asks me to come home. There is a tired part of you that may soften when it hears the words, "You are not alone inside yourself anymore." Maybe this is what it needed all along. Not a perfect plan, not a fast answer, not another push. It needed your presence. It needed your gentleness. It needed you to stop walking away from your own need for care. Tonight, let your presence be enough. Stay with yourself in kindness. Let the old harshness lose its place. Let the inner home become warmer. Let the tired part know that love is not far away. Love is here in the way you speak to yourself now. The night can hold what your mind cannot solve. The night can soften what your words cannot explain. The night can give space to what the day made heavy. You do not need to understand how every healing movement happens. A seed does not understand the whole garden while it rests in the dark soil. It simply allows the hidden work to begin. In the same way, some part of you may be healing quietly tonight, beneath your thoughts, beneath your effort, beneath your need to know. Trust the hidden work. Trust the softening. Trust the way peace can enter when you stop standing guard over every wound. Before sleep, give yourself back to love, not in a dramatic way, not with perfect words, simply with willingness. I am willing to rest. I am willing to be gentle. I am willing to stop fighting myself tonight. I am willing to let peace find the tired part of me. I am willing to believe that I do not have to hold everything alone. These words are enough. Willingness is a beautiful doorway. You do not have to force yourself through it. You only need to stop locking it with fear. So let sleep be a return from worry to trust, a return from pressure to softness, a return from self-judgment to self-kindness, a return from holding everything to being held by peace, a return from the noise of the day to the quiet truth within you. You are worthy of rest. You are worthy of care. You are worthy of a night that does not punish you with old fear. You are worthy of sleep that feels like love coming near the tired places and saying, "Rest now, dear one. You have carried enough for today." Now, as the night comes closer, let these words settle gently inside you. You do not have to carry the whole day anymore. You do not have to carry every thought into sleep. You do not have to keep proving your strength to an empty room. You do not have to explain your tiredness to deserve rest. You do not have to fix your whole life before peace is allowed to touch your heart. The tired part of you is not an enemy. It is not a failure. It is not something to hide. It is a tender place asking to be loved in a way that feels safe. Tonight, you can stop pushing that part away. You can stop telling it to be quiet. You can stop calling it weak. You can stop making it carry the voice of every old fear. You can turn toward it and say, "I see you. I know you are tired. I know you have held so much. I know you have waited for kindness. I am here now. I will not abandon you tonight. I will not ask you to become perfect before I offer you peace. I will not make you earn love by suffering. I will let you rest in the care you have always deserved. Let the body be a body tonight. Let it be human. Let it be tired without shame. Let it be soft without guilt. Let it release what it can and hold only what it must. Speak to it with warmth. Thank it for carrying you. Thank it for staying with you through every season. Thank it for doing its best, even when you did not always understand its signals. Let the body know that tonight is not another place of pressure. Tonight is a place of return. Tonight, the body is not being judged. It is being held in kindness. Let the mind be guided gently. It does not need to search every dark corner. It does not need to prepare for every future moment. It does not need to replay what has already passed. It does not need to solve the whole path before it can become quiet. Give it a loving thought and let that thought become the soft direction of the night. Tonight, I am safe to rest. Tonight, I let life hold what I cannot carry. Tonight, peace finds the tired part of me. Let the mind hear this again in the quiet place within. Let it understand that fear does not get the final word tonight. Let the heart stop defending itself for a while. It has been brave. It has loved, hoped, waited, tried, forgiven, protected, and continued. It has carried words it never spoke. It has carried feelings it did not know where to place. It has carried dreams that still matter. Tonight, let the heart know that it can soften without being unsafe. It can open a little without losing itself. It can be tender without being weak. It can receive peace without knowing how every story will end. The heart does not need to be guarded every moment. It is allowed to be comforted too. You are not behind because you need rest. You are not failing because you are tired. You are not less spiritual because your mind has worries. You are not less worthy because your body asks for care. You are not forgotten because something has not changed yet. You are in a tender human moment, and this moment deserves love. Life does not ask you to become hard in order to be strong. It asks you to become honest. Honest enough to say, I am tired. Honest enough to say, I need gentleness. Honest enough to say, I cannot keep carrying everything the old way. Honest enough to let peace come close. Tonight, stop measuring your worth by what remains unfinished. The unfinished task is not your identity. The unanswered question is not your destiny. The delayed dream is not proof against you. The heavy day is not the whole truth of your life. You are still becoming. You are still healing. You are still being guided in ways you may not see yet. And rest is part of that guidance. Rest is not outside the path. Rest is the path tonight. It is the doorway through which the tired part of you begins to remember that it does not have to live only by effort. Let this night be softer than the day. Let it hold the places that had to be strong. Let it touch the places that were ignored. Let it bring warmth to the places that felt alone. Let it remind you that peace does not need a perfect life before it comes near. Peace can come into this room of your heart exactly as it is. Peace can sit beside the tiredness. Peace can quiet the harsh voice. Peace can soften the grip of tomorrow. Peace can help the heart stop fighting itself. Peace can find you here. And if you wake tomorrow and life still has things to handle, you will meet them then. Not from tonight's fear, not from tonight's exhaustion, not from the old belief that you must carry everything without love. You will meet them with whatever strength the morning brings. You will meet them step by step with a little more kindness, a little more patience, a little more trust. But tonight belongs to rest. Tonight belongs to the tired part that has waited long enough. Tonight belongs to the peace that has been trying to reach you through all the noise. Let the final feeling be simple. I am allowed to rest. I am allowed to be held. I am allowed to stop fighting myself. I am allowed to receive peace before everything is perfect. I am allowed to let the tired part of me be loved. I release the day with kindness. I release tomorrow for now. I release the need to understand everything tonight. I return to my body. I return to my heart. I return to love. The night is here, and you are safe to soften into it. Not because every question has been answered, but because your soul is allowed to rest while answers are still forming. Not because you have carried everything perfectly, but because you have carried enough. Not because life is finished changing, but because you are allowed to be restored while change is still unfolding. Once you rest tonight, peace finds the tired part of you. It finds the part that kept going. It finds the part that stayed quiet. It finds the part that waited for love. And gently, without pressure, without shame, without asking anything more from you, peace brings that tired part home.